Portland Trailblazers, as you can see. The Los Angeles Clippers, and somehow they want Austin Rivers. I would have put Jamal or JJ Redick at point guard. But instead of having Crab there, we're going to put him in Gerald Henderson. Right there. So, yeah. Let's get into it.
This is 2K Sports broadcasting from Portland, Oregon, as the Trailblazers take it to the hardwood. For the Portland Trailblazers, they come in off a good outing against the Rockets in Houston. And just one look at the score tells you all you need to know. They were dominant in just about every area.
And the deciding factor in that one was their success from the floor. I mean, they just hit big shots time and time again.
Yeah, just the way you want it when you're the road team. Don't even give the fans a chance to get into it.
Here are the five for the Clippers. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. Austin Rivers is out there with C.J. McCollum. And it's Green in at the 3 slot. Andre Jordan has been extremely productive over 7 years. That makes it even more unbelievable that there was some question, Clark, as to his commitment to basketball coming into the league. Now here's McCollum, defended by George. Jordan kicks to back, and they get it back. There's the 3. Rivers can't get it to go. Trailblazers have gone 1 of 3 for the field to start this one so far. That is good.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Doc Rivers.
I asked him about the challenge of containing Chris Paul, and he said, well, he's one of the best in the business, maybe the best. There's really nothing he can't do. But, fellas, he said matching CP3's intensity on the court and making him work defensively are 2 keys. Back to you.
Thank you, Doris. Now here's Jordan. His last outing, he had 8 points. Here's McCollum. It's hauled in by George.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 fall.
And with Gerald Henderson Jr., what you see is what you get. A solid player, good athleticism, but he doesn't really specialize, Clark, in any one thing.
Well said, Kevin. Right on the mark with that. He came into the league as a jack-of-all-trades kind of guy. Skills were somewhat unrefined. And that sort of...
He a good scorer, but limited range and ball handling skills have put a cap on his development. Plus, he kind of lacks a go-to scorer's mentality. Uh-oh, a little show
to Jordan.
Get back on defense.
Here's Rivers. Shot to stop the run. No good. So the Trailblazers will take it the other way. Some firepower, Clark, from this offense.
Yeah, Kevin, how about the air of confidence? I mean, they really look like they believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, they got a nice groove going right now offensively.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Drummond, a screen, and out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession.
And, of course, Gerald Henderson Jr.'s dad was a solid NBA player in his own right. Never made an all-star team, but was a 3-time NBA champion. And ultimately, that's what counts.
Now here's Jordan. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Count the bucket.
No, I don't blame you. You're playing good defense.
Trailblazers leading by 3. Paul kicks to George.
Where's the boy, Paul? PG-13.
And here in the first, about 3 minutes in. Can't get it to go. Great D that time from Green. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I got to find something. You're right.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. Just hasn't been able to get it going.
And George with this stuff.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Guys, this one is threatening to get really ugly.
It's
they
deflected.
Were called Lob City before. We got.
And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Henderson, no good. Clippers trail by 5. Gets that one to drop. First one of the game after 4 straight misses.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Now, here is George. He picked up 27 points in their last win against the Rockets in Houston.
Paul George.
Good on the three-point shot.
Paul George,
George has got 9.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
As magical as the 2014 playoffs were for the Blazers, remember they beat Houston in that first round, that great shot by Lillard late to win it and move on. 2015, not as much. You know, Greg, they drew a very tough Memphis team, as you recall, in the first round.
Yeah, you often talk about styles making fights. Very similar in this series. They would go on to drop the first 3 games before being bounced, but still a good showing for a team that struggled mightily down the stretch with injuries.
And Los Angeles will go for a different look here. Cole Aldridge, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Pierce comes in for Blake Griffin. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Green. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Rivers. And that one's good, George.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
Here's McCollum. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good. McCollum's got his first bucket of the night. For the Los Angeles Clippers, they come in off a good outing against Golden State.
Well, that was a very physical game, and I think that plays into their hands. So a lot of their points came at the foul line.
And it also led to a lot of foul trouble for some of the key guys they were up against. So we can't forget about that part of it either.
Catching up on the changes for Portland, Maurice Harkless is checked in for Alexander. Alan Crabb comes in for Gerald Henderson. John Wall's checked in for George. And Lillard subbed in for Paul. Pierce, wide open, he fires. And the first shot of the night for him, missing. Poked away and out of bounds as Los Angeles gains possession.
And a quick review, looking at some numbers here for McCollum. Averaging about 15 points, 5 assists, and just over 2 steals. And he's really been pulling his weight. He's had a hand in some big plays here recently.
Yeah, in every way, I think he's doing a much better job, and the numbers certainly support that.
Not the best shot right there with a good defender draped all over you.
I agree with you. I mean, not the shot they were hoping for, but he can really cause problems with his defense.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Pierce's shot is good.
No, Damien, you better pull up on this,
Portland leading.
Lillard
attacking, and Aldridge sends it back. Looking for Redick, he gets it there. McCollum dishes to Aldridge.
Nope.
Here's Crawford. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. The Clippers shooting their first foul shots of the night here. And it's tied up with that one. And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
Steady work at the free throw line. Just what we're used to seeing out of him.
And Wall kicks to Lillard. That's good.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting.
1 second left. Can't get it to go. Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play.
I might do a campaign.
Trailblazers lead by 2.
I might do a multiplayer with my friend.
And John Wall, a multiple all-star in this league. But make no mistake, his focus is...
Main thing for me is going into this season is just...
Wall's the kind of guy that has his eye on the prize all the time. And the less emphasis he places on his own goals, I think, Greg, the better he seems to get.
That's a great point. And Kevin, he is a man on a mission at this point in his career. Only one thing is going to satisfy him, and that's chasing that ring.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And looking at what we've seen so far from the Trailblazers guys, what do you think?
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Greg, no uncontested shots for the most part. That's why they've had success.
They've got Crabb. Harkless is out there with Andre Drummond. Then it's Damian Lillard, and it's Wall in at the 1 spot. That's the group on the floor for Portland.
Boy, Doc Rivers keeps on leading his teams to successful seasons. A former coach of the year rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
And Rivers with the basket on the assist from Green. Rivers has got the lead up to 2 now for the Clippers. Trailblazers shooting a respectable 47% from the field in this one. Outside, Wall feeds it to Lillard. Back to Wall. The dish now to Lillard. Lillard again missing. And Doc Rivers passed the 700 win mark as a coach last season. He's climbing the ladder in career wins.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know that Doc oftentimes gets enough credit for the type of coach he is. I mean, as a coach, he is well over 500 in terms of his career win percentage. And how about over 500 in playoff games as well?
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Gerald Henderson, he's checked in for Crabbe. Paul George comes in for Damian Lillard. And it's Paul in for John Wall. The three from George makes that one his 6th of the night. Shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
And how does he get that one to go? No idea.
I don't have an idea either. A little heat check there, but yep, he's still cooking, and Greg, he's cooking with gas.
Up the floor, here's Henderson. Hammers it home to polish off the break. Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
And guys, I think each team knows they can win this game. Just a matter who can catch that momentum. I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for the Trailblazers.
Tell you what, guys, they're showing us a lot of energy early on and racking up those fast break points.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
That's a 2 from Paul. Green with the rebound.
No breathing room at all to take that shot.
If you look at Chris Paul, you're looking at a guy who really is the standard bearer of point guards. I mean, he can pass, he can score, he plays great defense, he also competes. But what makes him the floor general that all others are measured against, really the instincts and leadership.
And George, here we go. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented, for plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did.
I tell you what, though, great dunk, and this is even a better game we got going on right now.
It's deflected. Good, and Paul gets the assist. George has got the game tied up here for the Trailblazers.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
To the inside. Here's Griffin. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Griffin's got 6 points.
Well, here in the second, not as listless. They're showing some signs of life offensively.
You know, steadying themselves after a tough start, they're back on track.
Now a timeout called by Portland.
And you see the way Blake Griffin plays, he is a force. Very hard to contain him when he gets in close just due to his strength and activity.
Drummond's checked in for Maurice Harkless. And the Clippers making a change here as well. Crawford's checked in. Here's Rivers. Finished off the break. 8 points for him. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Clippers.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
For Griffin and his ability to create contact close, he's been called a bull in a china shop, something that I think Clarkie embraces.
Yeah, I think he'd rather be the bull than the china in that situation because of his strength and physicality. And I think that's the right mentality to have as a power forward.
A really good rebound in traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
It's Crawford with the drive, and it's the Clippers scoring again.
You know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put an extra body on him, get some help. when he barrels his way in close. Such a good finisher. He needs more than one guy to defend him.
And we all know about Paul George and his injury while with Team USA. I mean, he has still said that he would consider playing international ball.
For George to be eager to go back and represent the U.S. in international play is a brave move.
Yeah, I think, Kevin, a lot of it might be that he just wants to put that in the past and move on. And sometimes you do that best by confronting things head on. The only way to have that be the past is to keep playing for his country.
Near the three-point line, it's McCollum. They get it back. Outside Pierce for the three. Cannot hit. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Clippers team.
Yeah, and these teams pretty familiar with one another. They'll face off 4 times this year.
And, you know, Greg, both would love to get the upper hand early. This game, to me, is psychological as much as anything. I mean, a win here provides that edge you're looking for.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. A shot by Griffin. Nobody around. Nice open look, but it's no good. Trailblazers trail by 6. Henderson passes to Drummond. Crawford outside. And it's Portland with the rebound. Well, they've got the Lakers ahead of them after this game, and the next game it'll be played in Los Angeles. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. Los Angeles leading by 6. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
Well, Paul Pierce hinted that he could hang him up soon. He had that amazing run. Has nothing left to prove in the NBA. And I would say, of all the players in last year's playoffs, had some of the most dramatic individual shots we have seen from one guy in a long time.
He did, and you know, you forget he's done that really over the course of his entire career. Just kind of funny to see him doing it in a Wizards jersey, but you talked about it. He's going to go down as one of the all-time greats, no doubt about it. So many big moments over the course of his career, and also for all the kids out there, the best maybe footwork we have in our game. If you want to improve as a player, watch Paul Pierce's footwork.
Maurice Harkless is checked in for Alexander. Here's Pierce. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Pierce has got 7 points.
Well, there you go. I mean, if they're going to keep giving up open jumpers, they're going to keep getting burned.
They grab their own miss.
You know, they're not totally dominating the glass, but they're definitely doing enough to keep this lead right where it is.
Yeah, but they've separated themselves, Clark, in a number of categories. Rebounds just being one of them.
And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Just 4 seconds left to play here in the half. Crawford.
No.
And so we wrap up.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Here.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Why he talking?
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal, and a pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. Some good moments from both teams, but as the first period wrapped up, they trailed by 2. With an excellent team performance in the second quarter, they were able to push ahead, scoring easily and defending with a lot more intensity, pushing out to a 10-point lead here at the half. And let us get your thoughts, big fella, on the Clippers.
They did an awesome-horrific job. That's right, Ernie. Awesome-horrific. That's awesome and terrific together. Anyway.
How do we beat them?
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get...
And the second half about to start here in just a few moments.
George having a fantastic game. He has 20 points, and he's got 2 baskets from out in three-point land.
And I'm sure they'd like to get a few more of those out.
So for the Clippers right now, inside it's Griffin and Jordan. McCollum is out there with Austin Rivers, and it's Green in at the small forward. Now here's McCollum. Tight defense on him. Rivers dishes to Griffin. To the middle, Jordan. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
You know what? That's what you like to see. A perfect pass leading him right into the shot. Didn't even have to break stride.
Look at that.
Last season, the Clippers came away with the 3rd seed out west. They were very tough in conference and managed to get 37 of their 56 wins against Western Conference teams.
Here's Griffin. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Griffin's got 8 points.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
And George, here we go. And Jordan sends it back. And it's Drummond missing.
That's not how you want to kick off the second half with 3 straight misses.
McCollum kicks to Green. Stolen away. And now here's George, the fast break opportunity. And then Henderson with the jam.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
Scooped up. And the wide open shot from Green. And they will call over the back on the push.
Yeah, a bit over eager right there. Left his feet too early.
Yeah, and if you're already boxed out like he was, just back up. Because if you don't, you're going to get called for the over-the-back foul every time. They've been committing a lot of turnovers, and I imagine that's exactly what they're talking about right now. They need to tighten it up.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. Trailblazers trail by 12. Outside, George. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. George double teamed.
Padres. 3 J McCollum. Padres are taller.
And here are the Clippers now.
We still get beat.
Clippers leading by 12. Rivers passes to Griffin. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
Whoa.
And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now.
Oh, can I drop him?
Outside, George takes the 13-footer. The Trailblazers rebound. And Drummond throws it down.
How about the offensive rebound with a
So who do we have on our team? Wait, Drummond.
little extra punch on the putback.
You're right, Greg. As they look to trim the deficit, could we see them send a few more bodies to the boards from here on out? Maybe, just maybe.
Well, I don't think it would be a bad idea, Kevin. I mean, they could use all the second chance points they can get.
Trailblazers trail by 14.
Andre Drummond is a big guy. At the NBA Draft Combine, he measured 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan. And he tipped the scales at 280 pounds. That's a super heavyweight, my friends.
Here's Rivers. That's in for his 5th make of the night. Now shooting at a 50% clip, 5 for 10.
That one was solid. There's a big difference in the field goal percentage between these two teams here in the second half.
And, Greg, that difference has come about because we've got one team moving crisply, getting good shots, and the other is just kind of stagnant.
And on the topic of Andre Drummond, Greg, there are a few guys in the league who combine his kind of size with the type of athleticism he possesses. Fast up and down the floor, quick off his feet, even sports a little hang time. I mean, the guy's got a full package athletic.
You talked about the raw physical tools, and you factor in the two things as a big that I really value: great hands and quick feet. And he's got that going for him. So you can't go through him, you can't go around him, and you certainly can't go over him. I mean, what's left?
We can only hope to contain him. As they say. Catching up on the changes for Portland. Marcus is checked in for Alexander. Paul comes in for Gerald Henderson. And Lillard subbed in for Chris Paul. And Los Angeles will go for a different look here. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Jordan. Pierce comes in for Blake Griffin. Jamal Crawford, he's checked in for Jeff Green. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Austin Rivers. The first one falls.
When you're talking about the greatest clutch players ever, that list needs to include Paul Pierce. I mean, he slowed down a bit, no doubt, but don't let that fool you. If you give him any kind of look at the end of the game, he'll cut your heart.
And the Trailblazers making a change here. Perhaps checked in.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior. Really good ball movement there in transition.
Damian, and one Lillard.
Looking back at Paul Pierce's career, Clark, so many game winners, none more impressive than his jumper over Dwayne Wade in the first round of the 2010 playoffs.
Yeah, you know, Shaq nicknamed him the Truth for good reason. I mean, Pierce grew up in L.A. and reportedly dreamed of playing with the Lakers. Ironic that he instead became one of the Celtics' all-time greats.
Lillard attacking. Down through the hoop it goes. That's his fifth make on 9 shots from the floor.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Oh, jumper, Kyrie pulled up.
Wall's shot is off.
Kyrie pulled up.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Here's McCollum. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it. And the Clippers not known for being an outside shooting team, but they take a large amount of deep mid-range twos as well as their fair share of threes.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Alexander's checked in for Maurice Harkless. Henderson comes in for Alan Crabb. Paul George is checked in for Damian Lillard. And it's Paul in for John Wall. George. Redick with the rebound.
He's certainly not been at his best this quarter. And that's an understatement.
McCollum, no good.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
For the Clippers, you think of Lob City, and it's all dunks. But the reality is, Clark, as Greg was just talking about, that just isn't the case.
It really isn't. I mean, they also led the league in pull-up shots attempted by a wide margin, about 24 pull-up Jays a game.
This shot's just, it's not there right now. With this team leading, perhaps, you know, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
And here's George for 3. That doesn't go either for George.
I think he's got to regroup and get himself together here. I mean, something's gone wrong with him this quarter. He's really fallen off.
And how about the bounce pass? They are being used to perfection.
He feeds it to Drummond.
Whoa.
Stolen by Pierce.
How do you lose the ball?
Ball's knocked loose.
Go, Paul.
That's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession.
Wait, no, never mind.
6 seconds left in the third.
Confusing.
Crawford can't hit. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Clipper. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup. We'll see how much things change up here. Trailblazers trail by 14. We've got Mo Harkless. Damian Lillard out there with Wall. Then it's Paul George. And it's Drummond in at the 5. Home in the paint. That's the group in the game for the Trailblazers. Lillard misses.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Well, guys, they need to do something to reduce this deficit. And we'll see if that's the answer.
Crabs checked in for the Trailblazers. Clippers with the ball. They led by as many as 18 points. And Green slams it in.
Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finish hard with 2 hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but again, no need on that one. And they've worked the ball around so well tonight for those quality looks from mid-range.
Well, it's interesting. The defense continues to back off, expecting them to attack the rack, but they just continue to pull up and knock down those mid-range jumpers.
PG-13.
George with no one around. Off target from outside.
He had 6 points from long range in the first half, but nothing's fallen here since.
Rivers dishes to Redick. The rebound by Paul George. George has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Crabbe. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Portland was just fantastic at home last season. We expect that, though, of this team, Greg. 32-9. It was packed each game.
And Kevin, of that 32 win mark, how about that was the 4th best in the entire league? You don't win your division without winning at home, and Portland definitely took care of business.
Here's Rivers, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Rivers playing very well. 12 points, and there's a nice number in his assist column as well.
It really has been, Clark. He's created a lot of open looks for his teammates. Very unselfish play from him today.
And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Clippers.
Guys, they've done a nice job of drawing countless fouls in this game, and as a result, they've gotten a ton of points at the line.
And you've always heard of guys being in a zone shooting. You can be in a zone passing the basketball, and we've seen that tonight as well. And sometimes when you want something done, you got to do it yourself. That dunk's the shot in the arm they need to really cut into that lead.
Well, Greg, it certainly got everybody on their bench up and off their seats and cheering.
Yeah, that could be an instant momentum shift. That certainly was a rim record.
It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut back down to 14 after they get the hoop from Alexander. For Los Angeles, they've gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the 4th. Outside, Griffin. Out to the right wing. And Rivers gets it to go in on the assist by Griffin. 16 points for Austin Rivers. And for Portland, they're shooting in this game 45%. Outside for George. Baseline jumper. Redick with the rebound.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Pass to Jordan. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. And J.J. Redick good for 3. Redick's got 5 points now this quarter.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists. And really, the last few seasons, the Clippers have been one of the most consistently strong teams in the league. A far cry from when they were a bottom feeder back in the day. They have become one of the premier franchises in the NBA.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Doc Rivers address his team. He made no mistake that their plan was to run their offense through Blake Griffin. Coach would like to see him utilized in the offense as much as possible. We can expect to see them going to him constantly. The other thing he stressed was the need to be disciplined on offense. He asked for good ball movement and good shot selection. Guys, we'll see how Coach's direction pays off as this one winds down. Kevin?
All right, Doris, thank you very much. He dents the rim with a 2-handed slam. Wow.
And the lead continues to increase. They are just playing flawless basketball at both ends.
Greg, I can't identify an area where this team has underperformed. I mean, they've been 5-star in every category.
Greg, as you said about the Clippers, the days of finishing near the bottom every year are over. Clark, a lot of that is Doc Rivers.
Exactly. Since 2012, Kevin, they have had the 3rd best record in the NBA. A lot of loyal fans stuck it out with the team during the dark days, and now they're reaping the fruit.
Here's Drummond. That one wide left.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
And then Griffin with the dunk.
Wow, just look at that lead. Both ends, they have been the team in control.
Yeah, and they put the fans simply on mute. They've not had anything to cheer about, and they've been silent.
Drummond with a screen on Rivers. Hall. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, at this point in his career, Clark, it's safe to call Chris Paul one of the all-time great point guards.
Yeah, without question. I mean, for a long time, it was hard to argue that Chris Paul wasn't the top point guard in the league. Even now you can make arguments for others, but Paul is always going to be in the conversation.
Picked by Griffin. Rivers kicks to Green from the baseline. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
And with Paul, it is all about his consistency. Other point guards will have better years or stretches than him, but he just puts up huge numbers year in and year out, literally like clockwork.
And the Clippers making a change here. McCollum's checked in.
You know, it's amazing to me how little fanfare CP3 gets. I mean, he's not a flashy player, but you look at his effectiveness on the court, and he's a once-in-a-generation kind of talent. I mean, he's done it all his entire career.
Cullen passes to Jordan, and stolen by Drummond. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and it's George finishing it off.
That's the epitome of teamwork right there, Kevin, on the alley-oop.
Clark, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder.
Yeah, lightning too.
But guys, the pass for me, even better. He absolutely put that on a platter for him.
And the basket by McCollum.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Clippers.
Clark, looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders, and on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the boards.
Yeah, but they did a better job tonight. They made the most of the extra rebounds, too.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And, Greg, we know familiarity breeds contempt. I would expect things to become more heated as these teams face each other going forward.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Rivers. A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
And guys, Jeff Green, by every measure of athleticism and skill, should have become one of the game's better small forwards, but inconsistency has plagued him throughout his career.
And Kevin, I always go back to something my college coach told me. The mental to the physical is 4-to-1 in this game. And so through those 7 full seasons, he's teased everyone with that talent. And then it does suddenly disappear. And there's no other way to describe it other than the fact that it is mental. He hasn't been able to sustain it in terms of the consistency, and that's why he hasn't fulfilled his potential.
Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, it's been really sloppy out there.
Yeah, focus, focus, focus. Just make the simple play. And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jumps.
And he gets it to go.
And you can hear the disappointment in the crowd tonight. But we saw a team that was just ready to do battle in this arena. They clearly wanted this road win.
Crystal clearly. They came in here determined to steal this game, Greg. Their effort level, I thought, was outstanding, and they just took care of business.
And it's Noah Vonleh with the foul.
In for your Trailblazers, Ryan Roberts.
Crawford dishes to Prigioni.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Straight frustration right there, and I agree with you. Self-control of your emotions are must-have if you're going to play winning basketball.
First free throw is good. Prigioni hits them both. Five seconds left in the fourth quarter. Puts up a 3. The shot is off. So the Clippers winning this one easily. This one was over well before the final.
Well, gentlemen, I'm here with Paul Pierce. And tonight, Paul, was it the defense that...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
We will see you guys.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we have the opportunity to present our Blake Griffin.
I thought this performance he needed to deliver, Ernie. He needed this game. You look at how he...
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal.